to not show up and say hi. So I'm Katie. I've been friends with Sandi for probably over like 5-6 years now.
Wow. Okay.
But when we met in Virginia, and I am now living in Connecticut with my family. I joined on with Pampered Chef in August of last year. It's always been something that I've loved, but never just pulled the trigger and said yes to be a consultant until it was time and my why was strong. Okay. And so it was, and I have not looked back. It has been such a fun adventure, and I actually just this month I'm getting every last bit of Sandi that I can because I just signed my very first recruit this month, Jennifer Elliott. I don't know if she'll end up popping on or not, but so I am now in the midst of training her to start her business.
Okay. Are you virtual or are you a live consultant? Are you a kitchen consultant?
Sorry, say it again.
Are you virtual consultant or are you cooking chef?
So I thought I would only be exclusive cooking parties, and I was like, heck no virtual parties for me. And now I am definitely dabbling in both.
Well, that's good.
And catalogs and vendor shows, all the things I said, no way, that's not me. I am now doing.
I don't know how that happens, but yes.
Sorry, I'm in the noisiest place.
No, that's okay. So inquiring minds want to know, because you did say, your why had to be strong enough. And I am curious as to what your why is.
So why is I've been a stay-at-home mommy for the last, now going on almost 3 years. So that's definitely one. I was a preschool teacher before this. And I was ready at the beginning of this last school year to start teaching. And I am a faith person, and God works in mysterious ways. And some of the things that we had lined up kind of fell apart, and other things became clear as to why going back to work was not going to be something I was able to do. And those whys were my mom needed emergency open heart surgery, and my grandmother got diagnosed with cancer. And so she was going to need a ton of support. Both of them were going to need a ton of support to get through those recoveries and their own health journeys. So I've been able to bring in a second income to our family, which has been really rewarding, and be able to not only serve my family, but also serve outside of my family to the needs that are my strong why of why I am so glad I am doing this. So
amazing.
That's my why.
Yay.
Yeah.
Good reasons. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. Sandi's like, not everyone's reasons are going to be so deep and like whatever. She's like, I just signed on because I like the products and I wanted more.
Yeah, but let's rephrase that, because that's not really true. Like you can for one thing, but when you start asking the person more and more questions, you find out that their why is actually deeper than what they knew, especially after you get into the business for a little while.
Yeah.
The products are great, but what is it that keeps you going? It's not the products. Holy moly.
Yeah, no.
I got a ton of products and a ton waiting to get put away here.
Yeah.
More to come.
I'll take your extras.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is really good. You're absolutely right, though. Honestly, Sandi, you're absolutely right. That's, a lot of people, if they really, look what happened to you, Katie. You were not going to do any of those other things. And all of a sudden, you're out doing vendor fairs and you're doing live and you're doing virtual shows. So you're kind of doing it all.
Yes, I definitely love some live shows. Those are definitely still my favorite. But this whole business has definitely been a huge surprise and a learning journey that I'm so thankful to have had Sandi to navigate me through, and I'm very grateful to be where I am. So, and excited to be on your team too, Patty.
Yay!
And I'm actually at a rest stop, and my family is being held hostage in the car. So but I did want to pop on and say hi.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you so much.
Sure too. You have my question.
I appreciate you getting on.
And I'll
catch the recording, because we're recording. So
I will definitely be watching the replay.
Right.
Joan, I love you.
Love you too.
Bye, guys.
Have a
Bye.
safe journey.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'll go.
All right. Okay. All right.
I was trying to find a place where I wouldn't be too loud because we just put our boys to bed, but outside I'm going to feel too self-conscious because it's nice weather and all our neighbors out, and I don't want to be talking about myself outside. So I am Joan, and like Sandy said, I joined a year ago January, so now it's almost been a year and a half.
Wow.
And I come from a line of direct sellers, I guess. My mom years ago did Mary Kay, and my older sister was actually a pampered chef consultant for about 4 or 5 years, about 10 years ago. So, yeah.
Well, hey, that's good. It runs in the family. Okay.
Yes. We're big pampered chef fans, yeah.
Do you have a big why?
Yeah, Joan, you do have a big why. Tell Patty why you're doing Pampered Chef, because you have 2 little boys, and I don't know if she's.
I think she's frozen.
Stuck. But her oldest son is deaf. He's blind.
Okay.
And he's autistic.
Oh,
so
wow.
She has a lot on her plate as far as, again, Joan is also a teacher like Katie. Okay. So they have these, these careers that are supposed to go along nicely with a young family, but finding out that working outside of the home doesn't work so well. So the Pampered Chef has allowed them both to do more for their families. And Joan goes live all the time from her Facebook, in her Facebook VIP group.
Okay. Just in the group, never like in her show. Well, I'm assuming that she would do it in her show. Is she virtual?
She mostly does virtual, and she's pretty consistent, not doing a whole lot. And right now she's in the process of moving. So we've lost them both, and we have Helen.
Now we have to pick on Helen
for forever. So have you met Helen? You have met Helen face to face, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you are always so much fun, Patty. And I love, seeing you and
Marie.
That you guys are like 2 peas in a pod. That you guys.
We almost are one. People are like Patty, Marie. They're like, I'm like, yeah, wrong one, but
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and even young consultants that see you guys having fun and seeing your Zoom or your recordings of when you guys get together. I mean, this is such a relatable business that,
oh my gosh, for sure.
and even like what Katie was saying, just wanting to start this business and just do it part-time, and you could, just do part-time, or you could do, full-time, like the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, and over the course of our careers, we've, done more or done less as need be for our family.
So true. And it's like a blessing when you really think about how this business works and, how we can adjust our schedules. I mean, there's so many, our lives change, quickly, little kids, big kids, grandkids. Well, I have none of those, but doesn't matter. Some people do. I mean,
someday I do. I have 2.
Yeah, see, and they keep you hopping. But everything else, I've been after almost 29 years. It'll be 29 at the end of the month. It seems like you just, it just works because it fits. You can do this business alongside of everything else that is going on in your life. With illness, with good times, bad times. I mean, all of that. So yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I guess at this point, since the consultants have hopped off, the Ask Me Anything, now you can ask me anything, Patty. Helen, go ahead, I guess, if you want to, or I can ask you. But
okay. Well, Helen, do you have something that you'd like to ask her?
You just seem to be such a virtual queen that you when you broke your ankle and you just kind of took it to a great level. So I just appreciate everything that you have done for all of us. So.
Thank you.
I know. Yeah.
Amazing.
Very sharing.
Today's our last meeting, Patty, I don't think I told you, but we had our last in-person meeting a week ago, Monday, and they gave me a little surprise party. They gave me balloons and flowers and gifts and a cake. And Pam Evans, who I don't know if you remember Spiky Pam, she came up from Fredericksburg, which is a good hour.
Yeah.
So it was really sweet surprise. So.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So,
so sweet.
I guess
you mean so much to so many, everybody just imagine, besides the customer.
Picture of the cake.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Look.
See?
Oh, it's got the little hat on there.
Oh my gosh. So cute. It has,
it has
the hat. I'll post it in our group later, but it has the hat and it had a knife on it and the mini serving spatula and the surface
there it is. Oh my gosh, we'll miss you.
Yeah, the surface of it is a flexible cutting mat. So it's
my gosh, I saw that.
It looks so real. It looks like they just popped it right on the cake.
Real? Is the cutting mat real?
No, it was.
It was so fun to.
That cutting mat was not even real.
No, no, nothing was real.
Yeah.
So, Helen, you made a good point. And we talked about the business changing. And when I broke my ankle, I thought, well, I'm not Michael Reeves and I'm not going to be hauling stuff to people's houses and having a friend drive me there and all that with a broken ankle. But that's where he's found success. So cooking shows, if you want somebody to look at, would be Michael Reeves, right? And virtual parties changed. I had great success for a few years and they changed. So virtual parties, I think it's still a work in progress. And the Stephen Joseph method that has been posted in our group, and Patty, you posted it in your group. I think his method is the way to go. So we all have access to his method. It's just a matter of putting what he you're going to have to put in time and effort to learn that way to do it. But just like anything else that's new, you just have to put in the time to make the changes. Yes. So at this point in our lives, we pretty much have somebody home every single weekend. And my kids want to do stuff and my husband wants me to travel with him. And so this decision is not because anything bad happened. It's time for me. So I want everybody to know that, because I don't know that I said that out loud. So, and Joan is back. Hi, Joan.
No. It's true. When I first started, my kids were 4 and 7 and in preschool and in elementary school. And now they just graduated both from undergrad and grad school. And they've not known me doing anything else other than Pampered Chef. And to be able to be there with my parents as, in their later and last chapter has been priceless, that I've been able to do that and still make the trips.
Yeah.
Except for this one.
Because it was a conflict of schedule.
That I didn't get to go with Sandi, but instead I went to my kids' graduations and moved my daughter back home. So that's the reason why we do this business, is for your family. So
right, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go through all kinds of ups and downs, but yeah. See, it's sorry about that.
Joan, looks like you're back.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone died and I was struggling to get the computer or the phone to function and finally figured it out.
Yay! Don't you love technology?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
You can't live without it. So,
right.
No, really appreciate, Sandi, that you share and that, and I think obviously you are the one person, that felt like you knew what you wanted. I mean, you had been in this business, met a lot of people, and, you talk about what it's done for your family, but look what you did, how you impacted all of your customers and your hosts and your consultants. I mean, it is pretty amazing. You just, you know, that it's a joy. It's a joy and it's a caring, and that's how you are. And, you know, and everybody appreciates all the work and effort and time that you put into them and all your shows. And that's the way that you care. And, you know, you stick with it. You got that stick-to-itiveness that you know, you do what you can for everybody, and it's not about you. It's about what that other person, whatever that other person is. Yes,
I think that's important because for everybody to remember that this is a relationship business, and it's a relationship business. Honestly, for me, the hardest part about saying goodbye is all of my consultant friends that are so dear to my heart, and I've learned so much from them. My hosts are important, my guests are important, but your deepest friendships come from the people that you spend the most time with, right? So that comes from the people that you've been learning from and that you're sharing with, and the income kind of becomes secondary because those things are more important.
For sure.
So, and I'm just trying to think. I had a list of things that somewhere I have a list that I want to make sure I say to everybody before I go. But
I know you should. You're recording this.
Yeah. Consistency is key. When I wanted to, you know, when I started, I did like 1 to 2 parties a month when I first started. Patty didn't know who I was. I was just some person way down in the downline that did a little bit here and there. I was on every single call that Patty and Diane Engel ever offered as far as training. I never missed one because I wanted to know everything. And it's a learning process. And no matter where you are in the business, there's always something to learn. But when I wanted to do more, our daughter was going to college and I was going to have to go get a real job or do more with my Pampered Chef business. So, I had a friend who challenged me to add just 1 more show a month. And then once I've added that show, add another one until I got to that. I always knew 8 shows makes you great. We've been saying that ever since I started. 8 will make you great. If you do 8 shows a month, you'll get everything that the company offers. Blah, blah. So Joan, I'm probably a broken record to you because I know you've heard me say this before.
Someday I will get there.
Yeah,
someday I will get there. Right now it's a little crazy. I'm where you are with the like.
But I've been right where you are. My kids weren't as little when I started, but I had 4 of them very, you know, in rapid succession, and everybody was busy and our schedules changed. But when my daughter went to college, I had to make a decision. I was going to have to go out and get another job, or I was going to have to do more with Pampered Chef. Well, I chose to do more with Pampered Chef. So that was where that's where the impetus came from. There has to be a driving why, which is where we started talking, right, about the why. So that was the why for me, was making sure I was still home for the other 3 while helping to get Kaylee through college. And you know that the business has done so much for us in terms of family vacations, and being there for the kids for everything that they did. I don't think I missed a marching band game, you know, competition in their entire high school career. And that spanned, I think, 11 years.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Lots of kids.
It was a long time. That's all I know.
Wow, that is a long time. Yeah, your kids are pretty close. If you only like 11 years, that was.
Yeah, they were, Kaylee was 4.5 when the twins were born. So there was Kaylee at 4.5, Blair was 2.5, and then the twins were born. So yeah, they're really close together. So, all right. Any other question for me? I can talk a lot.
You know, maybe we should ask maybe something, just, you know, those, like, do you have a favorite product? Do you have a favorite product out of all
My
of them?
new favorite product is the quick cooker. When that thing came out, I thought, what do I need a quick cooker for? You know, it's just Gordy and I most of the time. What do I need that for? But man, I love being able to make soup in a half an hour. For me, that's what I use it for the most. Like, bam, soup is done. I don't have to stand there and watch it and make sure it doesn't boil over. Our boil over no mores are great, but I don't want to have to wait for 3 hours.
Right.
So that's my new favorite product. I did write these pots and pans. I have a list of 10. the scrapers, pastry mat. Where would we be without our great pastry mat? I remember having the Tupperware mat and it would roll up on me. So I hated that thing.
Yes. I remember that same mat. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It wasn't any good. So the pastry mat that lies flat, I've been using that. You know how when you at church or wherever you're always invited to a potluck and you think, well, what should I bring? Right? I bring the same thing every time now. I always bring my mother's scones. Okay. Now I'm from Scotland, you guys. Now you may have not have heard me say this too much, but I always bring my mother's scones. So I'm using that pastry mat every week, practically. So at least once a month.
Wish I got to taste those.
Next time I come to Chicago, Patty.
Got it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
you have a lot of favorites.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have the list of 10, but anyway, what else would you like to know?
Well, I was kind of looking this over. Let's see. What are your top selling products? Do you have top selling products?
You know, I looked at that and I was, I shared that on a live a couple weeks ago and I was surprised because most of them are low cost items that I sell a lot of.
Okay.
So I thought, well, if I was going to reevaluate my business and I wanted to continue, I would be thinking I need to focus on some higher priced items and get people to fall in love with them. So coaching myself, that's what I would have changed. But yeah, they're all like $10 and under. Eek, my top 10. So
it's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably add-on items for a lot of people. They're buying.
Probably. Well, and you know, the season's best is always up there because
right. A few of my top 10s are the free items like the guest special, like the measure-alls or the, kernel cutter, it's the things that people add.
But you know what that says about your business? It says that people are spending at that $75 level.
That's good.
Yeah, it is good because that's why Pampered Chef gives us the free product to encourage people to spend that little bit more. And I'll tell you, I went to a Norwex party for the first time Monday night after we got home from picking up the dog after coming home from Arizona. And I was invited to this Norwex party and I thought, I can't miss the Norwex party because I said I was going to be there. But I didn't understand that there was a freebie with the guest sales. And she said, well, Sandi, if you just spend this, you're going to get that. And I'm like, okay, I'll find something.
Isn't that
so
I'm always looking for a deal, even whether I could be $50 away, and I'm like, oh, well, I'll just find something for $50.
Right. And I was talking to the consultant like I would talk to my consultants. I said, now don't tell me you only need to spend this amount of money. I'll find
What else do you have on your wish list?
Yeah, what else would you like?
Oh, God, yes, Jen.
Just let that customer look through and find something that they're interested in. Don't say it's only $11. You're only $11 away. No, let them find it. They can do the math.
Oh, I always do that. I don't like to offer that because then they go with what you offer.
Right, exactly.
But I love the wish list thing. That's good. I said, what else did you have your eye on?
Yeah, what else did you have your eye on? So
good job.
Well, I'm glad you went to her party. She actually booked up at my party, and I think when I had mine, it was when the Hawaii trip, and I think you were in Greensboro, and
yeah, I couldn't come to yours. Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's nice. So anyway, next question.
Okay. Let's see. Have you had any? What would be your most? So you're high and low in the business. What were you most excited about, and what were you most challenged with in your business? Right?
So
most proud about.
Yeah, there you go.
My most there's a few high moments that I was really excited about.
Always good.
After being in the business for 12 years, I think I earned excellence in sales for the first time. So, and that was thanks to the challenge of LEAD, really, because I got invited to do the LEAD program, and to be in LEAD, you had to do 8 shows a month and you had to do 2 recruits in a month. And I think I recruited 9 people that year. So the challenge makes you find ways for things to happen.
So true. Oh my
Because
God.
you want to be part of the group. At least, I mean, I'm talking about my personality. I wanted to be part of the group. I've always been driven to succeed. I was an all-A student, so I want to be the best. And so that drove me. And so earning that the first time was really exciting for me. Also, when they offered Disney the last time, that was the first time I was even close to earning Disney. And they do Disney every 5 years. So it was my first trip that I earned to Disney. And I was focused on getting the level with the airfare paid for, because I didn't want to pay for 4 people to go to California. We were taking the twins. This evened the kids out for their trips to Disney, because Kaylee and Blair had been when they were little, and Shona and Aileen hadn't been to Disneyland. So now all the kids have been to Disneyland once. And we've been to Disney World a lot of times. But yeah, so I was really focused on, and I worked really hard so that we wouldn't have to pay the airfare. So I was really proud of that. So Lowe's, so this is where it gets hard, is when you don't have a personal director that lives close by. So that was hard for me. The world of virtual, like the Zoom conferencing, wasn't really available then. When my director moved to Germany, I was maybe 3 or 4 years into the business, and I didn't even really hear from her after that when she moved away.
Who's your original director?
Barb, oh gosh, I can't remember her last name. That's terrible. Wait.
So
oh my gosh. I can't believe I can't remember.
It is Barb though, right?
Barb Tominek. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Barb Tominek. And she was around for a while. And she was wonderful. But again, I was that consultant that was at every meeting. Yeah. And that, go to meetings, it makes you more successful. Go to conference, it makes you more successful. Connect with other consultants that you want to be like, that makes you more successful.
Yeah, for sure.
So when that happened, anyway, when Barb left, I chose to go to my friend Joanne, who, Joanne, Patty. Joanne just retired, and Joanne Riggs has been in our group for a while. So we were sister consultants, but she had become a director before me, and I went to her parties, and her meetings, she's hysterical. So we just always had the best time because she's so funny, and the house was like an igloo because she was going through menopause then.
Funny what you remember.
Yeah. It is funny what you remember. Well, you used to have to bring a blanket and slippers because it was so cold in her house.
Is that when you went to Colorado?
No, then she moved to Colorado. So then I had to find somebody else here. So what I'm trying to say to everybody is, you don't have to be, in that Pampered Chef bloodline, so to speak, to go to a meeting close by. So Jonah already knows that we've been doing meetings as a group with other directors. Helen is one of them, and Tanya. So we've been doing meetings together for a long, long time. So you are still going to be welcome at those meetings, even though you're not, fiscally related to anybody. Just go.
Right.
And learn from them. Just go.
Absolutely. And I think what has been your biggest thing is that, you're a student of the business. If you want to know something, you go out and find it. You're talking to the right people. You're networking. That's how it was back then. We didn't have a choice. We didn't have Zoom stuff or whatever. I mean, none of that was available. So when we got to a conference, we made friends with people. We actually had to put things in the mail to people.
That's right.
We had to mail things to people.
Email and do attachments and all that stuff. It's so much easier now. We just copy and paste in a Facebook message.
It's crazy.
So, but that really actually says a lot, Patty, because we're, for us, people that are more mature in the business, that we have had to learn a lot. We've been through 2 different methods of programs, Pamper Partner, Pamper Partner Plus. So those were programs that we
downloaded programs. How crazy was that?
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right. And the system that we use now has only been in place since 2012. So being online to do your parties has been in place since 2012. So 7 years is still pretty young. And so changes, don't be afraid of changes. You just have to learn.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And you know, learning is what helps you grow. I mean, the world is changing. You don't have the same phone that you had 5 years ago. You know, even last year, a lot of people have changed. Remember, we went from the we went from the really big. I remember when they first came out, they were the big bucket phones that you would take in your car and you think, oh, how cool you are. Yeah. And I was talking about the mobile phones. And then you went to, you know, then they got really small and you had those little flip phones, you know, you couldn't even barely see and you were, and then, you know, then they had phones almost the size of, you know, a mini iPad. And now we're back to the smaller. I mean, it's crazy. It's just
it is crazy.
You're walking around with one of those big things by your hip. I'm like, what the? Now we're back down again. So go figure. I mean, your car is not the same car that you've been driving, and maybe you have. I mean, we had a car for like 17 years, but you know, your car is not the same car. So things change. Technology changes. The world changes. It's, you know, you got to adapt. You've got to grow, which is a good thing. I mean, it's a really good thing. And then as far as making all of those friends with everybody else, it's like you are the average of the 5 people that you hang around with. That's
right.
Tony Robbins says that, you know, I mean, I love Tony Robbins. So
that's a good point right there, Patty, is because a big change for me happened too when I became part of a group that, you know, are accountability partners. Helen and I have been accountability partners for a couple of years. And Donna Smilo and I have been accountability partners for a couple of years. And Patty, you connected me with Donna because you felt like that we would get along really well. And Donna has become one of my dearest friends. And Donna and her husband and Gordy and I had a wonderful time together last year after the trip to California. They invited us to join them in Palm Springs. So you just never know where the connections are going to take you. I never thought, that's the other thing. Earning a trip with Pampered Chef, you got to try. If you don't try, and you have to have a plan to get there. And you have to keep watching your numbers.
Absolutely.
Because I swear I was looking at my tracker every day or at least once a week. You know?
Especially towards the end of the year.
Yeah, especially for Coronado. Yeah, by the time like November comes, you're like, oh gosh, how close am I? How many more recruits do I need? How many more sales do I need? And there was a time, you know, where I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to get there. And there were a couple of trips that I missed by a little bit, you know, a few $1,000s or one recruit, because there was a recruit requirement at one time. Right. But my mindset changed. That's the other thing. My mindset changed. But having an accountability partner really helped to be, you know, somebody who was working toward the same things that I was working toward.
Exactly.
And about the same level, or at least, you know, Helen and I have really paralleled our businesses pretty closely over the last couple of years. And so it just inspires you, because you don't want to hit that accountability call and not have a good report to share with your buddy. Like, so, or you could be part of a mastermind group where you're just sharing ideas.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing it with like-minded people that have the same, you know, the same aspirations, the same goals. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? People can talk you into anything. I always say, you can buy into anybody's story. It's really amazing. Like, if you have a negative, she's like, oh yeah, nobody wants to host a show. Nobody wants to join my team. Nobody wants to join my business. You know what? You can buy into that, or you can tell them a different story. Because there is a different story. There is a million. And with the way our business is these days with virtuals, I just keep thinking to myself, you know, that was a hard thing to grasp, you know, after coming from, you know, the business that I have been in forever, you know. But really, truly, it's not a different business. It's the same business.
It's,
you know,
just
it's
doing
just
it a little different way. Yeah, it's a different way of sharing the same stuff.
Yeah, I have to say that. I don't even think that, you know, I think to myself, like, you know, like I was trying to make it out to be more than really what it is. But when you think about it, you know, like your virtual shows are almost, you know, you're welcoming people, you're connecting with people, you're sharing what your favorite products are. I mean, is there really any difference between live and virtual? Probably not.
No, and the way that home office, encouraged us to do one recipe and share the tools for that recipe. Well, essentially that's what we do at a live show. You bring the tools for that recipe, you bring the specials, and that's all you talk about.
Right.
So, yeah.
So true. So true. Yeah.
So true. All right.
Amen to that. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. We talked about your frustrating moments. We talked about your highs in the business.
Do we want to talk about funny things from cooking shows? Because I'm just
saying. I love those. I love those kind of stories.
Oh my goodness. So I think one of the funniest things to me, or the kind of funny, sad things, I went to this woman's house and she didn't have a kitchen table. So I brought a table with me to do the demo on. And when I got into her apartment, she had the biggest TV I have ever seen. It took up the whole wall of the apartment, and she didn't have a kitchen table. I couldn't get over it. So I think that was one of my $200 shows, but and I've had shows where one person was there, but then I've had shows where there were 20 people, and it's absolutely crazy. And I think Katie wanted me to say, how did I get people involved or interacting in the parties? And the best thing I ever found, or I ever did, I put in my pocket of my apron. Joan, you've seen me in action, so you know what I do. I put a packet of cards in my apron pocket. Okay. And I would just say at the beginning of my demo, I would say, okay, we play one game at these shows. I don't do games, but this game, all you have to do is collect as many cards as you can, and the person with the most cards is going to win. That's how hard it is. And how are you going to get a card? You're going to get a card by sharing what you love. You're going to interact. If you take a turn and you use the garlic press, you're going to get a card. And if you want to share what you love about the food chopper, you'll get a card. And before you know it, everybody is talking and they want another card and you want another card, and you have the most fun and people are having a good time. And you don't have to do all the talking. You don't have to remember everything either. Now, what I found at some shows is that maybe people don't have any products. So there you say, well, you use a food chopper and tell me what you think about it. Tell everybody what you think about it and what else might you use it for. So you have to get better at asking questions too, But that would go for a virtual party too. Ask questions, so that other people are saying something and you're not the only person in the room talking.
Questions are the answers.
Yeah.
Aren't they? They are.
They are. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, I know another thing that happened, and Joan is gone, so she'll have to listen to this after. There she is. Okay. So I actually did a show with this couple last week or 2 weeks ago, my last cooking show. When I went to their house, there had been a storm, and actually it was the same weekend or the weekend before the show I arrived at somebody's house and a tree fell in their backyard when I arrived.
Oh my gosh.
It was scary. But this one, a tree had fallen over the driveway when I arrived to do the show. So they had to chop the tree down and get it out of the way before I could even get in the house. So
was it a big tree?
It was a huge tree. It was a full mature tree.
Chopping it down, didn't they?
Well, they had they were out there with their chainsaw, and a neighbor came with a chainsaw, and they're moving all this stuff. I'm like, do you want to change the party? Maybe we should do another. No. We'll get the tree out of the way. Don't worry about it, Sandy. So then I get my stuff in. And I think actually the worst experience I had was arriving after all the guests, because this was before the GPS. I think I had a TomTom, so maybe I had that. But it was way down in Fredericksburg, which, Patty, you don't know, but 95 South, just imagine trying to get south of the city of Chicago or out of the city of Chicago at rush hour. And that was me trying to get down to Fredericksburg. And I could not find this house for love nor money. And I got there and everybody was already there. And they're like, it's okay, it's okay. Well, I was so embarrassed. I like, oh, one more story because this is where it gets, this was sad actually. And you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. Sometimes you get, something happens and it makes you very emotional. You don't know what to do. I had done a recipe in a bar pan and it was in the oven. And I took the bar pan out and I put it on, you know, on the counter or whatever. Well, I went back and I touched the bar pan. Yeah. And I did not burn myself, but everybody was so concerned. I mean, it hurt, but I touched it and I moved away right away. But everybody was so concerned about me. I got overwhelmed and I started to cry.
Oh my goodness.
And then like, I never went back to those people.
Oh my gosh.
I know, but so those are my horror stories. But you know,
Yeah, if that's really a horror story.
that was a long time ago. So.
I know. Oh my gosh.
But then, you know, I've had a $2,400 show from a woman who couldn't have been nicer. Oh, Gordy's come to say hi to us. Come on in, Gordy. Say hi to Patty.
Come on in, Gordy. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Yeah,
I
I
have
am.
a question. How many egg
Yeah.
yolks were there?
There were 2 egg yolks.
Okay.
He's working on my birthday dinner.
Oh, it's tomorrow, right?
That's right.
That's right. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank
I was
you.
like, I was like, I don't know how I knew that. It like popped up somewhere, and I was like, I got to remember to.
Actually, it's on 2 of my calendars, and I
Okay, there you go.
so
Bye, Gordy.
thanks for that reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow, by the way?
Oh, he is taking me away
Oh,
to Pennsylvania for a surprise.
Nice.
oh, so you don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know where we're going. I know it's somewhere in Pennsylvania, and it's somewhere near Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
What?
There's a place called Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
I know. My sister-in-law lives in Lancaster, and she gave Tom a T-shirt of Intercourse, Pennsylvania. It's like, really?
Who would move there?
My father would have moved there. He loved that place. He just thought it was so
They
funny.
probably had to pay people to move. I can imagine.
You
I
can
don't
get a
know.
postcard.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, there's funnier things. So I'll let you know after.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm curious as to.
As to where I'm going, right?
So are you meeting tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what's he baking?
He's baking some cupcakes for my birthday.
Oh, that is so sweet.
And then he's gonna make, I know he's making hollandaise sauce. Because he makes lobster from
I know. Don't you have that on Mother's Day?
Lobster Benedict. Yeah.
You had that with,
Nice.
didn't you have that with Donna? Isn't that like your thing?
Yeah, Gordy made it last year for Tom.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Now he's printing something. So
It's great that he loves to cook.
I know. So does he have a list of things for you, like a mile long of all the things that you've got to do?
tomorrow? No.
No, I meant like just in general. You
No,
know,
I didn't.
when you start your retirement. What do you say?
Oh.
Donnie?
Aw,
Lots of things for him to do. Oh, was that the cupcake?
we need the scratch and sniff.
Oh, I know, yeah. Or you need to send us one.
It's
Or,
Betty Crocker's best chocolate cake recipe,
oh,
right? And it's from scratch. So
oh my goodness.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Don't be teasing. All I got is coffee here. And this little doggy.
Mhm.
Driving me crazy. My daughter's out, so I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Um,
Alrighty. So
What did we do? Pampered, not perfect. What does that mean? Let's see. Most
well,
frustrating.
that's the line we get to use at every single show we ever
That's
do.
right. On your journey. Yeah. I think I covered feedback. So, best feedback for your virtual shows. Most successful and the best feedback for your virtual shows. So you've been doing them for a long time.
Pardon me?
And I said you've been doing them for a long time. right? I mean, how
Yeah.
many years? A couple years? More than.
About 4, I think.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you've been.
About 4. Yeah, pretty much when Tanya came to our meetings and she started to talk about virtual parties and how successful she was at them, that was when I thought, okay, I got to jump on this bandwagon and see how she's doing it. And she was, kind enough to share her method with us. So that's how I've taught my team. That's how I've been doing my virtual parties. It's been a 1-hour party. And we have posts 3 days leading up to it and posts 2 days after. I think the most important, there's lots and lots of things, and I have shared those in our group before, so they're there for everybody to see. I think when you're in the group, if you just type in virtual,
Okay.
it should come up.
Are they all in succession, or do you have to?
You just have to use the search engine because they're all over the place. And if you type in Cinch or CinchShare, you'll find some things. I did not do lots of CinchShare training. And if you guys want me to do specific CinchShare things to talk about that, I thought about that. I'm going to have to do that the last week of May.
You know what might be a really good idea? So if you change your group type to a learning group, you can add in units. And units are learning units. And then what you can do is, if they're already there, you can add them to the unit so that you can have everything all in one spot. Like if you did all of those things in one spot. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I really want everybody to start focusing on what in your group.
Okay.
Because
no. But if they wanted to find it, because I don't have it, in my
put it into the unit.
So if you can do that. You just change it so it becomes a learning group, and then you create a unit, and then you can add all of those things into your unit.
Okay. Units is something I don't really know a whole lot about.
So they're in my group. I've done units. I don't have a lot of them, but I'm finding that it's easier because when people ask for stuff, it's kind of all over the place, because in a group, everything kind of gets moved around and stuff. Right. So you're right. You can search and you can figure it out. But if we did CinchShare, I'm sure a lot of other things would probably come up too.
So you're putting it in units and you're directing your consultants to go and look
some of them I am. Some of them I am. I'm thinking I probably need to do more. And I just keep getting sidetracked with some other things. But
so that, I think that would be helpful for people to know, because I don't know much about the units myself. But
we can do that. If you, so are you keeping the group open or no?
I was going to keep it open so that they can go back and look at it. I wasn't even going to archive it because I thought if anybody,
I'm sure that they would like it if it were.
At least not for now. I won't be checking it all the time, but if somebody specifically tags me, then I'll look at it. Let's just say that.
Yeah. If you can make me an admin.
Yep, I will definitely do that.
And actually create the unit, and then we can try and figure out where some of those things are, just in case they want it, because I don't have anything like that. And you do your virtuals a whole lot different than I do my virtuals.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a live hour show, but maybe I should be. Are you guys, is everybody else doing that? Are you doing that?
No, you got a 5-day show.
5 day?
Helen's doing 5 days, and most of the company is doing 5 days now. Yeah. And that's Stephen's method is doing the 5 days, and that's
with a 2-day engagement, right? With the 2-day engagement. Okay.
I don't know exactly how he does it. One of the things I wasn't willing to change because I had already made the decision. As a family, we had made the decision that I was going to retire this year. I just hadn't.
I know. I get it.
So I wasn't at the point to learn something else new. Joan, you had something to say, though. I can see your little face.
Oh, I was just going to say that I really like the way that you set up your party, where it's the lead up and then it's the 1 hour and it's all kind of right there and exciting and everyone's interacting, and then there's the following days afterwards. But I've found, well, not that I've had any lately because my life has been crazy, but I couldn't do that just because I couldn't count on my kids to be in bed and for me to be down and ready to start a party at that time. So my plan is to, for the time being, do album posts and parties. So instead of doing like a 1 hour party, I'd still do a live, but I don't think I can like schedule it for a definite time because I always miss it. I'm always late for the lives because something is always happening. So posting albums at a certain time during the day, because you can schedule those and people can know, they can go and check and follow through the albums the same way, the same logical way. But so that's a new way I'm gonna try out, is albums and then a live when I can get to it. So probably people aren't going to be able to attend the live, but they'll still see me doing something in action. And my plan is also to start a YouTube channel, but I don't know.
YouTube channel, the good thing about the YouTube channel is you can take the Pamper Chef videos and you can upload them to your YouTube channel. And what that will do is that when somebody's watching a video on your party, then it's going to redirect them back to your YouTube channel, where you can have other videos that you've done at any time, and they're going to see, maybe you did a video with the salad choppers or the something, you know, so they're going to see the one about the quick cooker, and then they're going to see your video that you did of just making in the pasta cooker that you did, your lives there, because you've got so many videos that you've done, you know, doing so many great products. You're passionate about them, you're sharing such good information, but then it's there and it's gone, you know? So
if you already have them, why can't you just download those and just upload them to YouTube?
I wasn't sure. I hadn't really looked into it, but I mean, I hope that's something I can do.
Yeah, if you've saved your videos on your phone, you can upload to YouTube from your phone.
Oh.
Okay, so something to know for the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you choose not to, because YouTube videos comes with that little icon and they don't play. But if you have them on your phone and then you schedule them in the group, you know, what it looks like a live. You know, like you can do that and it kind of looks like a live that, you know, that you could actually, you know, and then you could do it once and it becomes green content where you can kind of reuse it all over again. So if you can get yourself enough footage to just do it once, I mean, you know, or do a couple different ones, you know.
So Patty, have you done training on Facebook parties on the PC team training page?
There's some information there, whatever people have, have, you know, shared with us or whatever. So we have some information, and I think we've hosted some, you know, guest speakers that have done, you know, training calls with us. I think those are on and I actually have a YouTube channel. So we have the YouTube channel as well. So that's up there, but I think a lot of them are on the PC team training then as well. I should look at that. I haven't really, it's hard to almost keep up with all of that stuff.
It is hard to keep up. What I would say, Joan, is what it sounds like to me is that you are trying to reinvent the wheel that's already been invented, the 5-day party.
It's a common theme in my life, even when I was a teacher.
So you don't need to reinvent it. You just need to go out and find somebody that's doing a 5-day party. You know, say, I want to learn how to do it. And Stephen Joseph's method really is all about the host coaching and staying in touch with your host. And that is the key. I mean, I listened to that training and I thought, wow, if I really wanted to turn the corner, that's where I would be going. I would be taking his training and I would be implementing his method, because I think he has got the key to success. I mean, and Linda McGuire, her team she has put his method into place and they are taken off like wildfire. So she's doing pretty much virtual parties now, which was not her thing before.
Yeah. And isn't she doing, and I know I have the video on, I think she shared it with us. So she does like my favorite things, and it's like a 15-minute video, and she just constantly uses that video on her. So she's not really making a recipe, but she's just sharing some of the products.
I have no idea because I haven't been asking.
Yeah, I mean, and this is going back a little bit ago, so for sure. And it's on the PC team training. So if you just Google Linda McGuire, I'm sure you'll find it, and you'll be able to see that video, which I think is like, I'm like, oh, well, that was easy, you know.
Anyway, all right, you guys. Well, we have come up to the end of an hour, and Patty, I so value your time and taking time from your busy schedule to join me and our little team that's going to be coming up to you, and you're adopting them. So I'm so delighted.
Like, look, pretend that.
Look at Patty, they're superstars. Look at her. Yay! I love it.
Oh, that was kind of cool.
That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, and I hope that everybody that's on the call and everybody that listens to the playback realizes that I reach out to me. I mean, if there is something that you need, that's what I love about this. That's the other part of why I love this. So helping people, because we can do it. I mean, anybody that, honestly, it's a mindset, and I can drag you to the finish line if that's where you want to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, really, everybody knows Patty's a real person, and she's approachable. And what I told Patty when I called her to let her know that I was retiring is that I always wanted to be her friend. So I'm so glad that we're friends.
I am too. You are a blessing. And
I'm sure you still will be.
Oh, yeah. You're just a phone call, a Facebook
and a flight away.
I know. Hey, you never know.
Southwest flies midway to BWI. I don't know where do we always leave from. So we're not far. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all.
I was just at BWI yesterday morning, or as I was heading to Indiana.
You weren't headed to Indiana?
Her daughter's graduation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graduation, and moved her out of her apartment, so I had to get it there Monday.
Yep.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Again, Patty, thank you.
All right. Thanks for including me.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, everybody, and those that popped in at the end. Thank you.
I know. I don't know who that other
I don't know either. Tracy, hi Tracy, I see you there.
Yeah, I see Tracy, but I don't know who
703-819. Who's that?
That's me.
Is that Jennifer or is that you, Joan?
No.
Is it Janet? 399.
It's Tracy. Shoot.
Oh, Tracy,
Oh.
you're on here twice. Okay. Well, we're glad you popped in.
Yay. For sure. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll get
It's
this
been
recording
recorded, so you can.
Yeah, I know. I'll stop the recording, and then we'll make sure that we get this up to YouTube, so I can add it to your page. How's that?
Sounds good. All right.
All
Thanks.
right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.